followed along, continuously hearing gunshots. This gunfire lasted for about 10 minutes, and on the Beltway, up, and screams mixed with shouts of gunfire erupted. Hundreds of people ran out, and he followed suit downstairs. After running out of the mall, he saw that the glass on the fourth floor had shattered, emitting flames, and glass on the first floor had traces of cracks from gunfire. Then he saw people leaving in cars at the mall entrance, and some ran directly onto the nearby Beltway. He followed along, continuously hearing gunshots. This gunfire lasted for about 10 minutes, and on the Beltway, Chen saw that the top of the mall was on fire. In addition to Chinese students, local Chinese residents were also in a panic. Within the circle of Chinese students, some said they would not go out anymore and were too scared to risk their lives. Some even started selling bulletproof vests in WeChat groups. After the terrorist attack, some said they would not go out anymore and were too scared to risk their lives. Some even started selling bulletproof vests in WeChat groups. After the terrorist attack, China, which claims to be Russia's ally, shamelessly engaged in a series of profiteering operations due to fear of WeChat groups. After the terrorist attack, China, which claims to be Russia's ally, shamelessly engaged in a series of profiteering operations. Due to fear of terrorist attacks and war, many Chinese residents and students in Russia plan to leave. However, when shamelessly engaged in a series of profiteering operations. Due to fear of terrorist attacks and war, many Chinese residents and students in Russia plan to leave. However, when purchasing plane tickets, they were dumbfounded by the exorbitant prices of one-way tickets from Russia to China.
Hello， 大家好，现在呢是莫斯科。
It is now 1:49 a.m. Moscow time, and there are still many police cars patrolling the streets. But I found something outrageous, which is the soaring prices of plane tickets, probably increased by 5 to 7 times. A few days ago, I helped a friend patrolling the streets, but I found something outrageous, which is the soaring prices of plane tickets, probably increased by 5 to 7 times. A few days ago, I helped a friend look for tickets because he needed to return home for exams. Today, when I checked the plane tickets again, although the price showed that it is around 2,000 RMB, clicking into it revealed that it ranges from 10,000 to over 20,000 RMB. A while ago, round-trip tickets were only a little over 4,000. It is too outrageous. There are even first-class tickets priced over 50,000. It's really ridiculous.
There have been many instances where Chinese travelers have been subjected to unfair practices in Russia. These include being overcharged for services such as a journey costing 1,000 rubles instead of the standard 200 rubles, and encountering
first-class tickets priced over 50,000. It's really ridiculous.
There have been many instances where Chinese travelers have been subjected to unfair practices in Russia. These include being overcharged for services such as a journey costing 1,000 rubles instead of the standard 200 rubles, and encountering unexpected surcharges for hotel accommodations. Furthermore, reports indicate discrimination against Chinese tour guides operating in Russia. It has also been noted that certain actions by the surcharges for hotel accommodations. Furthermore, reports indicate discrimination against Chinese tour guides operating in Russia. It has also been noted that certain actions by the Russian government have adversely affected Chinese nationals. If there's one country that's inherently xenophobic, it's definitely Russia. In 2017, when my family and I went to Russia for travel, the tour guide warned us to always carry our passports because the police would hassle us for money. We didn't encounter the police, but we met a Chinese person. He told me a story. He speaks fluent Russian. When he first arrived in Russia, he encountered 2 Russian police officers. The police asked him, "Do you have a visa?" and then, "Do you have a passport?" Seeing that his Russian was great and they couldn't find fault, one of the police officers directly took his passport into his own pocket and asked, "Do you still have a passport now?" Actually, the Russian police officer hid the Chinese person's passport on purpose and tried to extort money. Another Russian police officer spoke in a very standard Beijing accent and said, "Hand over the money." The methods used to swindle Chinese people are too outrageous. try to extort money. Another Russian police officer spoke in a very standard Beijing accent and said, "Hand over the money." The methods used to swindle Chinese people are too outrageous.
Shalom Yasharala, all praises and glory goes to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations unto the legmen feeding the sheep of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushai in sincerity and truth with this great gospel coming out of our Bible. Coming out of our Bible. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. By Hashem in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai. Right? That's the way you got to come. You got to know the name of the Lord and the name of his son to be delivered, to be saved. And that's not the only thing that's going to save you. You have to be the elect, predestined, pre-chosen by who? The Heavenly Father. By the Heavenly Father. And all we doing is living in the times of what? Biblical days. It's always been biblical times. They're talking about, we're living in biblical times. Motherfucker, we always been in biblical times. Right? Because this is the book of life. Right? The book of life, and we're watching the words come to fruition. We're watching the words jump out the page, man. We're watching what nation be divided. Right? Friends fight like enemy. Right? All the things that the scriptures spoke of. You got Russia and China, they supposed to be friends, but we see how, we know the Russians are the Edomites, right? For you to go to the so-called white man thing, he's different from the American Edomites. He's different from the British Edomites. He's different from those Spaniard Edomites. No, they're all the same. They're all Edomites. Russians, Spaniards, British, right? Germans, all these different groups, Canadians. All these Portuguese, all these different group of Edomites, man, that the Lord gave the earth into their hands, right? But they're one nation, Esau, Edom. And the Chinese are getting a taste of that Edomite medicine, right? It's called racism. It's called racism, right? Because especially when it's in the time of trouble. In the time of trouble, the Bible talks about a man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able to, right? And we just seen that in the video, man. Yeah, they don't put the prices of air travel up from 400 to 550,000, right? That's the times you're living in. You ain't gonna be able to travel. You ain't gonna be able to escape the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That spirit of fear is gonna fucking take over, right? These people, they gonna turn on each other, right? This is Luke 12 and 51. It reads, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division." But rather division. These people are seeing it. These people are seeing that, man, them Russians don't care about the Chinese. First off, you Chinese don't care about nobody, so what you complaining for? Right? Right? What you complaining for? You don't care about your own people. You don't care about yourselves. You don't care about the nations of the world. That's why you make cheap stuff and send it out to people. You send poison toys out to American kids. Right? Food is fake. Right? So fuck how Asia, a Moabite is being treated. Right? That's a beautiful thing in this video. I'm reading again. It says, "Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division." Yeah, these nations are divided. Russia want to be the next ruler. China want to be the next ruler. So who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? It's going to be who? The children of Israel. The children of Israel. Right? It's the book of Matthew 24 and 7. "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom." Right? Nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Right? These nations are going to be divided. The only thing that's going to bring them together is to fight against Yahweh Shai and the angels, according to the scriptures. But after that, they're going to go to World War III. World War III. And you already know, an Edomite can't be trusted. A Russian can't be trusted. That's why these Moabites, they mad because they got bit by that fucking serpent. I'm going to read Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. "Never trust thine enemies, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself," right? These fucking Russians are the same as the American crackers, right? Well, I did put up a video, man. What did that so-called South African leader say? He said, you could leave here and go to another country, right? What do these crackers do when they collapse in one society? They go to another Edomite nation and reestablish themselves, change their names, right? How you think so many Edomites in America, man, they not Karzais but they just took that identity of a Jew, right? You got $5 Native Americans claiming to be they Native Americans. They got it for $5 just so they could take over land, right? It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Yeah, fuck Russia. And fuck you Chinese motherfuckers also, all you heathen ass nations thinking that you got next. You ain't got a goddamn thing coming but suffering and misery. And yeah, we love to see you divided and separated. We love to see nations turn on each other, because that is one of the tools you use against us, man. Try to get us to turn on our own people, right? Try to get us to fight against our own people in our neighborhoods, right? You done set up gangs, right? You done set up different tribes against. Hey, when you took over the Central and South Americas, the Americas, what did you do? You set tribes against each other. You gave one tribe guns, the other tribe alcohol, right? You gave one tribe false information, come in at the middle of the night and rape the women and kill the children, right? That's the spirit of you goddamn devils, right? You fucking Edomites and take over Russia peacefully, right? You slaughtered a whole group of people that was already ruling over Russia, right? So one thing you gotta know, these devils, they gonna have to pay, and anybody join hand in hand with Satan, you gonna pay also. You gonna pay also. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear, right? We coming to a time where, man, ain't nobody gonna trust nobody. The Bible said every man shall turn to his own people and flee back into their own land, right? Paraphrasing. Matter of fact, we're going to get that next. 2nd Ezra 6:24, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right? You got times of famine coming, times of tribulation, times of trouble coming. So the only people going to feel safe around is who? Their own people. Their own people. This is Isaiah 13:14, and it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, and they shall every man turn to his own people. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. And that's what those Chinese men were trying to do, flee to their own land and go back to their people, but they were not able because the cities were shut, right? Especially during a fucking terrorist attack, right? Yeah, them prices of them plane tickets went up. They don't make sure ain't nobody leaving, and whoever's leaving, we need to know who the fuck is leaving, right? All earth is about to be in that spirit. You ain't gonna be able to travel, you ain't gonna be able to maneuver, you ain't gonna be able to go on as business as usual. Yeah, that shit is coming to a fucking end.